It's a big match day for us today as we can increase our lead at the top of the table. It's first versus second. It's Leicester versus Ipswich. It's a watch along. Won't you join us?
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Evron's, Bolo Blinds, Pocker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name is Elijah. Welcome to today's watch along. Leicester versus Ipswich, a battle at the top of the table. Lots for us to go through right now. We've got a 6-point lead at the top of the table at the moment. We can expand that to 9 points by the end of this match day. Andy already coming in quickly here. Chance for us to take advantage of drop points. That's correct. Ipswich have dropped over the last 2 games. Leeds ended up losing today to Preston. So obviously a big opportunity for us. But the challenges don't really come bigger than facing the team right behind you in the standings. We're 5 for 5 in our last few results. But again, a big challenge today. Start getting your score predictions in. We should be kicking off in just a few minutes. We've got the lineup available for you ticking across the bottom of the screen at the moment. Relatively unchanged from our last match. I believe our only key change is that Justin is out of the lineup, and as a result, I believe he's replaced by Cody in our back 4. I'm currently seeing a predicted lineup of a 4-2-3-1, which feels a little bit out of character. I know we've been leaning a lot on the 4-3-3, and I think if there's one thing we've found from Enzo Maresca over the last few matches, it's that he's not the most adaptive manager. He has a plan and he sticks to it. So it wouldn't surprise me if the lineup prediction that I'm seeing there isn't correct. Good call there from Phil. So Pratt is not on the bench. I feel like it must be injury because I know he came on in our last match and seemed to make an impact. I quite highly rank Dennis Pratt. I'd imagine it could be something he picked up an injury. I didn't see any kinds of big announcements coming along with regards to team lineups, any kinds of press conferences, anything like that. So I can't say with certainty, but I'm hoping that it's not just dropping him for dropping him's sake. Andy saying if the Leeds game was anything to go by, Ipswich looked bang average and something that we can capitalize on. We've definitely had our ups and downs in recent matches as well, though. I feel like we don't yet have the constant consistency and domination from the start of a match to the end to say that just because another team has been average that we'll just walk over them or that it will be an easy match for us. If you're watching on Facebook, I believe there is a button that you can press that will allow us to be able to see your names. Unfortunately, without that, I'm only going to be able to see you as Facebook user on my end on the stream. So they're just showing my lineup on the broadcast. We are indeed in a 4-3-3 formation, and Wout Faes is going to be our starting left back with James Justin dropped onto the bench. A front 3 of Mavididi, Daka, and Fatawu. I'm very optimistic with that. I feel like that is a very strong front line, and having Iheanacho on the bench to lean back on for that as well, I'm optimistic. Absolutely, Nick. I'm going to give you timestamp updates as the match continues throughout. We have yet to kick off on my end, but the players have taken to the field, so it should be any second now. Totally fair. I mean, I would love nothing more than for the top 2 to stay as it is by the end of the season. I'd love to go up automatically with Ipswich. I feel like that double promotion story is great for them, and obviously, I want us back up as soon as possible. I'm feeling optimistic as well, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm seeing a scrappy 1-0 or a 2-1. I don't think we're winning it by multiple goals personally, but I'm happy to be proven wrong by the team today. Just showing the managers on the touch lines at the moment. Going to preemptively get the score banner up on screen for us, although we have yet to kick off. Ipswich are just taking their team huddle on the touch line right now. Fair enough if you think Ipswich will win. Be honest and also play nice in the comments. If you are an Ipswich fan, let us know. We're always happy to get other teams' fans' opinions in the chat as well. Keep those comments coming in. I will be flying solo today on the watch-along, so for all intents and purposes, you guys are my co-hosts. So if there's any questions you'd like answered, any analysis you'd like from my end, please feel free to leave that in the comments. We are just about to kick off, so if you are watching at home as well, Ipswich will be on the left-hand side of your screen. Leicester City are playing in their gold away shirts. And at a packed Portman Road, the players are just taking the knee. And we have kicked off. So once again, a 6-point advantage at the moment for Leicester City at the top of the table. Our chance to make it 9 as Ipswich come right in from the start, but Yannick Vestergaard intercepts a low cross, and we will maintain possession, looking to clear out from our defensive third. Ipswich will regain possession, but a sloppy pass is collected by Mavididi, and we will clear our lines all the way up to the halfway point. I'm currently also using a new microphone that I haven't used before for previous watch-alongs, so if the audio is getting a little shaky at any point, please let me know and I can switch back to the old microphone. Both teams a little cagey at the start, Ipswich just passing the ball around the back, but we are playing a bit of a high press. Quick nod that was looking to pass forward for Fatawu, won't find him, but Vufas will keep the ball moving forward. Ipswich play it wide. Burns on the right-hand side, plays a low cross in that will not find anybody, and that will trickle out for a goal kick. 1 minute 18, 19, 20 on the clock if you'd like to get synced up at home. Little bit worrisome that nobody was available to make the block on that. Hermansen was a little bit deeper on his line, but nobody there to collect for Ipswich either. George Hurst is playing as the lone striker for Ipswich as well, so this is his chance to play against his former team. Ipswich trying to play high. We will intercept that, though. Cody in the midfield right now finds Ndidi, who will be dispossessed, and Ipswich will go all the way back to Hlodsky in net. Hamid, I don't believe Vardy is on the bench. No, he is not in the lineup today. Once again, Ipswich passing around the back. You can't help but imagine that this is going to be a fairly attacking affair for both sides, as Ipswich now come forward on the left flank, finding Hurst in the middle. Little back and forth, well intercepted. And a poor long ball, however. Ricardo, I think, was looking for Patsandaka up front, but just well overcooked it, and that will be easily collected by Ipswich, who will go forward again. They're favoring that left flank at the moment, Ipswich, so they're playing it over towards Hurst and Harness quite a bit. Now a lofted ball up and over Foss. Finds Burns on the right-hand side. Low cross is blocked, and Ipswich will get the first corner of the day. Low corner comes in for Davis, kind of pings around the area for a little bit, and I think that's gone out for another corner. Yes, it has. Lofted cross comes in from Davis, met at the near post and headed well wide of the goal by Burns. You don't want to be leaving your near post that exposed, but again, the angle was not kind to Burns, and he sends it well wide of the goal. Bubba's saying I can see 4 or 5 today, hoping we can score 3 of them. I'm in a similar boat. I see this being a very cagey affair. I think it's either going to be very low scoring or very high scoring. I've predicted a 1-0 to Leicester. I would not be surprised to see a 3-2, however. I don't think anybody's winning this by multiple goals, though. And that's fair. There's a lot of pressure on both teams here, probably more so on Ipswich than on us. But we do not want to let teams start to catch up. We do not want to give teams any hope, and we need to capitalize every time our opposition drops points. And Leeds dropping against Preston has been a big gift for us to really start to solidify our place, not just at the top of the table playing second place here, but to pretty much make ourselves a shoe-in for the automatic promotion places. 5 minutes, 25, 26, 27, as Leicester City passing the ball around the back. Ball with Vestergaard at the moment. And we move up the right flank. Daka in the middle. Out wide towards Foss, who's in a well-advanced position. Plays further forward to Mavididi. Finds Daka in space. Crossed into the penalty area. Falls to Fatawu, but he can't get it under his feet in time, and it will be hoofed away for a Leicester City throw-in. Mavididi will get tackled, and he's gone down to ground at the moment. It will be another throw-in to Leicester City, but it looks as though it might have been a little clash of kneecaps there, and Mavididi's in a little bit of discomfort. Disappointing from Fatawu on that earlier chance. They're just showing the replay of it here. Nice quick passing there, and Daka plays a first-time cross that lands right to the feet of Fatawu, but I think it lands a little bit further in front of him than he was expecting, and it'll bounce off his shin, and he just can't set himself up to take the shot. Throw-in goes in towards Patson Daka, and that will be put out for yet another throw-in, and they're penning us in that back corner without giving away a corner as yet. We're taking our time with this throw-in. Back to Foss. Tries to play it cutely around for Ndidi to collect, but it will be punted well up in the air by Ipswich. And they will win a free kick for some tussling by Winks. Ipswich going to try to calm things down a little bit more, but we regain possession in an attacking position here. Lots of options. Ndidi flunks it a little bit, but it falls to Mavididi. He's under a lot of pressure, though. Holds possession in the penalty area. Plays it back. Ricardo out wide to Fatawu. Up against Davis. Breaks into the penalty area. Up against 1, up against 2. Keeps possession. Cuts inside. Plays it across goal. And he plays it a little bit too far back, and that will hit the side netting for a goal kick. Looks as though we're starting to ease into this match. We're finding our footing. We're getting back into things here, back into our motions. And it's the balance of the game has definitely shifted since those opening 2 chances for Ipswich. Cody tussling with Hurst a little bit there. Ball goes all the way back to Hermansen. Yannick Vestergaard plays a long ball looking for Fatawu on the right-hand side. Will fall to his feet. Lobbed cross, and it will be chested back to Hradski in the Ipswich goal. Once again, Ipswich playing around the back, looking for a space, but we again intercept. Mavididi breaking in towards the penalty area, gets round one, plays it low, wins a corner. We're taking advantage of mistakes here. Ipswich want to play comfortably and want to try to establish the pace of the game, but we're making it very difficult for them to do so. Fair enough, Brian. Again, welcome you as an Ipswich fan. Give us your thoughts as well on how your season's going so far. If you feel like you're still on a good track for promotion, we're definitely going to be more so on the Schmeichel and Vestergaard side right now. As the cross comes in for Leicester City, and it's met by the head of Wilfred Ndidi, and it will go just over the top of the net. Also, Brian, don't forget about Hermansen. Good, promising goalkeeper for Denmark's future there. Yeah, with the curvature on the cross there, it would have been very, very difficult for Ndidi to direct that ball downwards. Don't really hold that against him. And once again, Ipswich play around the back. They do get it up to their midfield. Through ball, well intercepted by Wout Faes. Excellent play from Mavididi there. Collects the ball, turns, loses his man, gets tripped, wins a free kick just inside the Leicester City half. We're taking our time with the setup for it. We will just play it on the ground across the back, all the way back to Hermansen and then to Vestergaard. Poor pass, though. And Burns will intercept for Ipswich. His cross is again blocked by Faes, and that'll be out for a corner kick. Hi there, Neil. Yes, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday as well. I hope you've also had a nice chance to take advantage of some of the sales today as well. Yeah, poor pass from Hermansen there gives Ipswich the opportunity. They play the corner short and now look to come back forwards. It's Clark playing the cross in. Headed down, goes across goal and out for a Leicester City throw. Again, a dangerous chance there for Ipswich. I thought for a minute that went off the head of Vestergaard, actually. But no, it was nodded on by Hurst. And Ricardo will take the throw, but there's nobody really to receive it, and Ipswich will regain possession. Oh, and this time it's Ipswich who are sloppy at the back, and we have a chance to break. 4 against 3. Oh, and a poor through ball from Patson Daka looking for Mavididi. Although the clearance is then intercepted by Faes. We keep the pressure on. Winks now. Ipswich have gotten back in numbers here, though. Big cross play. And Mavididi can't keep it in play. That'll be out for a goal kick. Ipswich will play it out from the back. They take their goal kick short. Chipped through ball, looking for Burns. Ends up finding Hurst, who will nod it on for Burns. Out on that right flank. Burns plays a high cross in. Nodded onwards. Well intercepted, though. Fatawu puts it out for a corner. Dangerous stuff here. We're showing vulnerabilities from crosses here. Yeah, Fatawu just gets enough onto it to make sure that Davis can't play the header towards goal, as this time it's a lofted corner coming in. Vestergaard will head it away. Shot taken from distance. Well up and over. Just showing the replay there, and again, it was a very poor through ball from Daka on our earlier chance there. We needed to keep that pressure going early, and unfortunately that just derailed that momentum. Ipswich now playing very high. Hurst trying to give us a hard time with the goal clearance. And the ball's pinging around in possession in the midfield. You know what, Craig? I don't think this is ending 0-0 though. Both teams have had chances that were just too good for this game to end 0-0. A poor pass there from Harry Winks towards Vote Fast, and that'll go out for an Ipswich throw-in. Hurst is ex-City. Yes, that's George Hurst. Commentators on my end were just saying he's only made he only ever made 2 appearances, both of them off the bench for Leicester City, though, at least in the first team. Someone's on the ground for Ipswich, holding his face. Could have been a clash of heads. Obviously, they need to take head injuries very seriously. Ooh. No, it's they're showing the replay here, and it's Hurst just overextends his leg there. May have done something to his hamstring, trying to intercept one of the passes that we'd made, and it just goes. He flicks that leg too hard, and you can imagine what that'll do to the back of your thigh. With this break for the injury, Maresca's taking some time to communicate with the team. One would assume with how long the recovery team is taking on the pitch here that Hurst will continue. He's back up on his feet. Of course, he will have to leave the pitch temporarily, having received treatment. Play will resume with a drop ball. Doesn't look like Ipswich are going to contest it. Now we're playing with a little bit of intensity in our passes here as we go around the back. No real forward momentum yet, but driven. Now we move forward. Fatawu on the right. We go back. Hurst is back on the ground. I can't imagine he's going to continue. That's going to be a blow for Ipswich. He barely even made it back up onto the pitch. He took maybe like 3 strides and hit the deck again. Yeah, Hurst is leaving the pitch. Gets an ovation from the home crowd. And dare I say it, Ipswich's biggest attacking threat has to come off just before the 20-minute mark. Yep, they are warming up a substitution, so that is the end of George Hurst's day. Immediately, Ipswich are springing a quick counterattack on us after we had some pressure on in the offensive third. Low cross played in, pings around the area, and will be collected by Hermansen. Indeed, he sheds 1, sheds 2, keeps an advantage, and we turn the ball around. Caden Jackson is the substitute coming on in replacement for George Hurst, it sounds like. As Vestergaard plays the ball forward, we've got our defensive line is right on the halfway point here. Every player is in the Ipswich half now, it seems. Now we come forward. Oh, had me fooled as well there. Mavididi ends up collecting a ball that I thought was destined for Patson Daka. But a good challenge from Ipswich ends up having that ball go out for a goal kick. Ipswich having a bit of a shout for handball, although I don't think there's actually contact there from Cody, but obviously, biased. With that break in play, Caden Jackson has officially entered the pitch, so George Hurst's day is done at the 22-minute mark. Good play moving forward, and Ndidi will end up finding Mavididi on the left flank. Tries to play it back towards Ndidi. Nearly keeps possession after making a poor pass, tackles twice. But it will be cleared, and it'll be a Leicester City throw. Voutfas plays a lofted cross field. Cody will collect. We're getting a little sloppy. Another lofted ball looking to switch up play. Finds Mavididi on the left. Cross into the area, headed away. Foss will collect and will go all the way back. Vestergaard goes back to Cody. Cody plays it forward. Excellent turn. Patsandaka plays it out wide, finds Mavididi in acres of space. He takes the shot, and that's 1-0! A beautiful shot from Steffi Mavididi. Breaks the deadlock, and it is Ipswich Town 0, Leicester City 1. Cool as you like, a fantastic shot, a great turn, and assist from Patsandaka there as well. You can't place them better than that. Absolutely fabulous. Just breaks into the penalty area, puts the right amount of curve on that, back across the face of goal, over the man shielding the near post. Not really much that that Hladky could do to stop that, and the deadlock is broken. Struck with power, struck with curve. You don't hit them better than that in the championship. Ipswich immediately back on the attack. Burns on the right flank, trying to get around fast. Plays a low cross, booted away by Vestergaard, and that'll be a throw into Ipswich. A little bit of comfortable passing around the back right now. Now we can sit back. We can let Ipswich come to us and take advantage. They're going to have to start committing players forward at one point or another. This is like we mentioned earlier in the match. The pressure's on Ipswich, even at the start of kickoff here, because they don't want to let Leeds catch up with them. They need to collect all the points that they can to stay in those automatic points. Ipswich fighting hard and regain possession in the midfield here. Ball played across Chaplin, out wide to Burns. And a poorly placed pass gets deflected, and that will be a throw-in to Ipswich Town. You are correct, Andy. Southampton is now above Leeds. And sorry, Pat. We can't put the game up on screen for copyright reasons, but that's why we've got the watch-alongs here. For those of you who can't see the game, I run into that myself. I'm based in Canada. I can only watch about half the Leicester City games. Cross played in, headed away, but Ipswich will retain possession. It's Clark on the left flank, well marshaled out of play though, and that will be a goal kick. And yes, you're both correct. I wasn't up to date on my championship standings, but Southampton have hopped Leeds in the standings and are now 4 points away from Ipswich Town, accounting for the for today's results as they currently stand. With Southampton having slapped Swansea 5-0 today. Hermansen hits the goal kick long. I hope you're all excited to be back. We're back. Now, there is obviously a lot of work that still needs to be done to get us Prem ready, though. I'm hoping to see some moving and some shaking done in January. I think we need to start seeing not just a team that can boss the championship, but a team that can retain itself in the Premier League. I think Burnley is a very cautionary tale for us, where they were bossing the championship for most of the season, and look at where they find themselves now. So I'm feeling very good about how we're doing for the championship, but I want to start seeing us fortify and really show that we shouldn't just be back in the Premier League, but we should be back where we were before. Excellent through ball. That's got to be a penalty. Unbelievable. Dewsbury Hall collects an excellent through ball. He was in behind everybody, gets taken down in the area, Ooh, you know what? Seeing that replay, though, Burgess may have made contact with the ball first. Dangerous tackle to make by Burgess, though, and if that was a fair tackle, then credit to him. And he's saying that Leeds are becoming the Spurs of the championship. And it's one of the big issues with being a team that can get promoted and relegated is that the system and the players that you need and are just able to retain between the Premier League and the Championship are so different. And even the Prem itself is volatile because you think about the fact that Aston Villa were an outside shout for relegation midway through last season, and now they're in second in the Prem. Likewise, Everton should have gone down instead of us last season, and now even with a 10-point deduction, they're lower mid-table. Ball will be headed back, and Hermansen will collect in the penalty area. Leicester City again pressuring up right outside the penalty area. Ipswich will deal with. Long through ball finds Burns, tries to play it in towards the middle. Well intercepted by Cody, though. Calm, cool, and collected, and he plays it back up towards Winks. Winks tries to go upfield towards Mavididi. It's just overcooked, and that's out for a throw into Ipswich Town. Fee, good to see you again. Yeah, I'm a little more intermittent right now while we're in the championship because I can't get access to all the games, but when I can, it's good to be back. Ipswich Town coming forward, up on the left flank. A little back and forth. Cross comes in, easily collected by Hermansen. I really like him as a manager. I've said this before on some watchalongs that I see shades of Brendan Rodgers stick in the mud nature, you know? When things start going badly for us, it doesn't feel like there's a desire to adapt. There's just a desire to do the same thing more intensely in the hopes that that will suddenly start working. Inclined to agree, Craig, as well. Now, I think as well we will have a very productive first transfer window back in the Premier League because we will have that certain level of prestige. Although a little mistake here, and Ipswich are back on the attack. Cross is deflected, and that will be a corner kick to Ipswich Town. However, I do want us to start building that team now in January so that we don't have to sign too many players just in advance of the Premier League and have a team that's a little bit disjointed. Like, I want Prem quality players who are familiar with each other. Cross is immediately deflected away. Ipswich come forward again now, though. Taylor out wide. Back and forth with Harness. Punted away by Daka, though. Ipswich breaking forward here. Weak shot taken from just outside the penalty area, though. And that'll be wide for a goal kick. Offside, and that will be a free kick to Ipswich that they take too quickly and will have to retake. Oh, a sloppy play at the back by Ipswich, and we get in with a chance. And very good defending there. Last-ditch tackle takes down Ndidi, and that not only is a successful tackle, but it will be a goal kick to Ipswich. We had to take that shot sooner. Worth noting, though, when it comes to just general momentum and the chances being created, that's twice now that we've basically forced Ipswich defenders to make tackles that if they get that wrong, penalty and they're done. So we're making the right decisions. We just don't quite have it in front of goal yet. Mavididi plays it off his man and will win a throw in right by the halfway line. Ipswich just passing the ball around the back at the moment. Nothing too exciting. V, thank you, because we did score a goal, the 99p super sticker. Always good to have those traditions back in place. Ooh, Andy, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I already have been over for a match this season. I actually went to see 2 games. I saw us play QPR in London, and I saw us play against oh my gosh, who did we play against in Leicester? I still have the Premier League games that I went to see in my head, where we played Southampton, where we played Villa. But I remember that was the first victory that I ever saw. Oh, we've got a break here. Mavididi plays a through ball, finds Daka. Excellent save by Lodzki, though, and that will be a corner kick. My gosh, who did we play against when I was in London? I've still got the ticket on my phone. I cannot believe I have to check. I should remember this kind of stuff. It was also Southampton, that's why. Was it? Or is that my Premier League ticket? It was Sunderland. It was Sunderland. Corner kick will be cleared away by Ipswich Town. So I am tempted. If it ends up lining up with the next time I come to the UK, I'd love to be in Leicester for the lifting of the trophy. You know what? Hlodzki did make that a very difficult chance for Daka. Arguably, he could have taken it sooner. He could have taken it a little bit better, but I mean, honestly, even if I can't be in the stadium for it, like I'd love to just be around and just be there for it. You know, like I couldn't be there when we won the Premier League. I'd love to just be there when we win something. I wasn't able to be there for the FA Cup either, like for like obvious reasons. Like I'm not getting a ticket to Wembley. No way I have enough points for that. I had to sit in the home section for QPR, for goodness sake. Once again, Ipswich a little sloppy at the back, and we regain possession. Wout Faes, Mavididi passing it around with Ndidi, but we will go all the way back to Vestergaard. Ball passed around the back at the moment. Vestergaard makes a bit of a piercing pass, although it will go right the way back to him. For those of you watching at home, we are at 40, 53, 54, 55, so just coming up towards halftime. One statistic that the commentators were just making is that Ipswich have taken more shots so far this game, but we've had that clinical edge, and we've made sure that the chances that we've taken have been good ones. And of course, Mavididi with an absolute rocket, putting us ahead in the 22nd minute. Not the 22nd, 24th minute. Ipswich passing the ball around the back at the moment. Ipswich trying to come forward. Pass up the flank ends up being deflected, and will go out for an Ipswich corner. Little bit of pressure on. But again, if they want to get a result out of this, they need to start pressuring, which means committing players forward, which means leaving yourselves exposed. Nick, thanks for tuning in. Corner kick comes in, pings around the penalty area. Hermansen fumbles it, and we get a free kick. Jackson displeased with the with that result. Ball just pings around the area. Daka hits the deck, and yeah, Jackson just goes a high boot right into the hands of Hermansen. You can't do that to a goalkeeper. And we play the free kick back to Hermansen. Out wide to Cody. And we'll just hold it. Bubba, that's a very fair point. I'm very much still haunted by corner kicks. And the thing is, like, I think so many of us have been saying that Vestergaard has looked a transformed player in the championship. I always felt was like one of our biggest liabilities when we were facing a corner, but now I feel reassured having him in that penalty area. And agreed, Nick, like the season has been very, very good. And this, I don't think anybody ever wants to go down to the championship, but now that it's already happened, this has been a good refresh for us, and I think has set us up to perhaps do something more like Aston Villa's doing, where we'll go back up, we'll have a couple seasons getting back to our footing, and then we take the Prem by storm. As Mavididi breaks into the penalty area, makes his pass to Dewsbury Hall, pings around the area, ball will not find Fatawu, and will be cleared away. And again, a very, very dangerous opportunity for us that leaves Ipswich scrambling. Ball's now with Winks, although Ipswich have everybody behind the ball, and that's a big difference there, Andy. Is that yes, it does look like the players are enjoying their football again, which is something that we just did not have at all last season. I think one thing I was saying in an early watch along this season, Nick, was that this feels like what Brendan Rodgers football was supposed to be, because there is very patient build-up at the back, a lot of short passing, possession maintenance, what have you. But the players up front are getting into positions to then be passed to, which is what we weren't getting from Brendan Rodgers' style of football. Brendan there was passing around, but that opportunity never opened up, so we would just pass it until we would get dispossessed. Now there's purpose. And we can go forward and make these kinds of attacks where even if it doesn't necessarily come up with a shot, we cause the defense to scramble in their penalty area, and that's the kind of thing that could eventually just lead to a tap-in. And, Adi Akinbayi could be scoring goals like that. Fair, Neil. I think an improvement to the squad, if we can continue to do that in January, bring that into a Premier League season, I feel like on paper, by playing style as well, this team is better than Sheffield United. This team is better than Burnley. Ooh, a little dangerous there for Ipswich Town, but the ball will go wide of the net. I think it takes a deflection off Foss and will be a corner kick. 4 minutes of added time. We're 49 seconds into that at the moment. I feel kind of comparable to like a Luton Town or a Nottingham Forest in this iteration of Leicester City. With no improvements, no changes, we're a lower mid-table team. Davis takes the corner, headed away, nodded onwards, only as far as an Ipswich man at the edge of the box. Shot take from distance by Morrissey will be blocked, headed away, pinging around the area at the moment, and out for an Ipswich throw. And yeah, I feel like they're both kind of shoo-ins for relegation at the moment, but let's also keep in mind that, they're going to be replaced with probably a Leeds and a Southampton, or a Leeds and an Ipswich, or a Southampton and an Ipswich. Like teams that we're beating, we're doing better than in the table. Agreed. Like I think we're not going to be back to where we were for a good few seasons. But I'm already seeing brickwork being laid to get there. Ipswich playing a ball around the outside of the area. They collect it. First shot is blocked and then hoofed away by Daka. I think the funds is going to be a big part of it, is that, especially compared to any of the teams in the championship, but even compared to some of the teams in the Prem, we're wealthy. We're very wealthy. And when you then add in the fact that we're going to go back up without dependence on parachute payments, we're, knock wood, short of something disastrous, we're not going to end up in like a Norwich type situation where we end up in the championship for long enough that those parachute payments are going to stop. And then we're right back in the money. Neil with the £1.99 super sticker. Thank you very, very much. I will say when it comes to super stickers, things like that, like we don't get paid. Like I do this on a volunteer basis. The money that we get goes back into the operation of the channel, helping us to do things like our shows. It helps to pay for the streaming service that we use in order to broadcast, things like that. So we greatly appreciate it. Ipswich coming forward here now. Burns on the right flank. 20 seconds left in injury time. Clark crosses it in, goes out for a corner. One more chance for Ipswich before the end of the half. Ndidi telling the team to calm down here. The 4 minutes have been played. It'll be an outswinging corner. Played high. Nodded on. Out for a goal kick. Surely that's got to be halftime. And that is halftime. Ipswich Town 0, Leicester City 1 at halftime. I'm going to step away for a little bit for halftime, but I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll put the link in, we'll get some live chat going, and I will see you guys very shortly. All right, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for us. And if any of you would like to jump on and discuss that first half, please feel free. I'm just going to get our score line back up, and then I will put that link in the chat. Feel free to click in. Our biggest request, though, is just that you do come on camera so that we can see who you are. All right, so you can click on that link, come on and share your thoughts on that first half. Looks like we do have an Ipswich fan in the chat as well. V saying this time in 2015 we were top of the Premier League, and look what happened then. This is a big, big match for us. As it stands, I believe we go 9 points clear at the top of the league. 6 straight wins as well in the championship if this score holds. Big, big result for us. Two different Ipswich fans. Well, again, I'll tell you what, if you wanna talk, click on that link. I'll play fair. Just need you two as well. Keep those comments coming in as well. Let me know what you would like to discuss for the rest of this halftime break as well. There was an earlier comment here from Carlos saying, I'm watching the game and Ipswich always look like they're going forward to get a goal. I think that that's kind of something that we could expect, though. They had some good attacking prowess in about the first 10 minutes of the game, but only once we scored did they really start attacking with major intensity. And one of the things that I think that brings is a bit of a double-edged sword. Obviously, each time that they come forward, they're getting a little bit closer to scoring. I'm not necessarily confident that we're going to get a clean sheet. However, they're committing more players forward. So I could see us snatching another 1-2 goals around the 60, 70-minute mark, especially as Ipswich starts getting desperate. Because again, they're under more pressure than we are at the moment. Even if we lost this game, we would still be in first by several points. No, unfortunately, Michael wasn't able to join today, so that is why I'm flying solo. I think one of the big things that we have seen from Ipswich so far in the first half, though, is a big reliance on attacking from the flank and crossing in. We've been a little bit more direct, trying to attack with through balls through the middle. I don't think we've played as many crosses. We more just try to cut inside once we get it out onto that flank. However, we've shown vulnerability to those high crosses that come in. Not sure when the game's going to be back. I think it's only going to be a few more minutes until we're back live. My broadcaster is still on its halftime break, just showing like some idents of the different games that they're going to be showing through the week. We will let you know when we're back up and live. The ticker will get updated as well to get rid of that HT once the game kicks off again. One thing that we can do in the meantime, though, is we can take a quick look through the game stats. One thing that I think does surprise me is that when we go through a match and and it's not level. When we go in with the lead, our possession stats are not as dominant as they are when we go in level or when a team is really starting to frustrate us. At the moment, we're still below 60% possession, which I believe at halftime against Rotherham, we were in the mid 60s or low 70s at that point. Neil, thank you very much. Yeah, it's not easy to do the solo watch along, so I greatly appreciate all the comments that we can get, because again, you guys are basically my co-hosts for this one. But 100%, like before I started getting broadcasters that brought Leicester City games in Canada, and even now I still struggle with it while we're in the championship, I too end up reliant on these watch-alongs. So I'm definitely happy to be able to share it with any of you who don't have access to the games live, or any of you around the world who don't have access to a broadcaster like I do. One of the big stats that the commentators called out on my end before halftime was the fact that Ipswich have taken a lot more shots and taken a lot more chances than Leicester City have. They currently lead shots by 7-3, although Leicester are the only team to have taken shots on target so far. So we have done a good job of frustrating them in that regard, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see that stat just continue to increase as Ipswich gets more desperate. Footage of the game has just come back, so we should be about to kick off the second half momentarily. I'm going to get rid of that HT on the halftime ticker, and you won't have to listen to me just try to banter. We will be back to active football in hopefully a minute or two. Ipswich fans in the chat, I would actually like to hear from you. Where do you think you're finishing this season? Do you think you're going to be able to hold on to the automatic promotion spot? Do you think you're going to make a big challenge for us to the title? Or do you see yourself finishing somewhere in the playoffs? Because color me very impressed by your season so far. And I would really, really, really love to see you go up in the automatic spots with us. I think the Prem needs a little bit of Ipswich back, just not as much as it needs us back. All right, players are back on the pitch, and we have just kicked off the second half. So if you're watching at home, Leicester City are now going to be attacking to the right-hand side of your screen, Ipswich to the left. Leicester City start off with possession, but we do give it away rather quickly, and a quick through ball that was looking for Jackson there will end up finding its way right the way through him as he stumbles, and Hermansen will collect. Immediately, I think we're seeing what I was mentioning here, though, that Ipswich throwing more players forward here. Even a back pass there to Hermansen towards the corner flag. Jackson's right there on him. So they are committing players forward here, which they've got to do. You gotta spend money to make money. You got to buy a ticket to win the raffle. But that obviously brings an inherent risk, and I can see it taking a sucker punch here if that doesn't pay off for Ipswich very quickly. Thanks again, Phil. And honestly, like I'm at least in the Eastern time zone, so I have it easier than Michael does. When we have the early morning kickoffs here, and it's a match that kicks off at like 9 o'clock in the morning for me, it's 6 a.m. for him out on the West Coast. Ipswich coming forward here. They'll end up breaking into the area. Jackson tries to play a crossover, and it will be blocked, and Ipswich will get the first corner of the second half. Jackson already making his presence known to the Leicester City players in this second half. Clearly going to be an integral part for them in this second half. Davis plays an in-swinging corner in that's knotted on, but it will go up and over the net. Burgess, the center back, taking that attempt. 9,000 corners since I'll tell you what, though, Ipswich, they've been making it a challenge for us. They've been winning that header, but where I've been impressed is that we haven't given them the space that's needed to take a good opportunity from a corner. And then right here, we take the goal kick short there, and Ipswich have 4 or 5 players in the penalty area right there. So they are committing players forward right from the get-go here. And I'll tell you what, Martin, that's exactly where I want you to finish as well. Because, like, again, I've got my bias. We're topping this league as it's a chance for Ndidi. Oh, and he puts it just wide of the goal. Scuffs underneath a little bit, but a gilt-edged opportunity for him there. But I would love for Ipswich to finish in the other automatic promotion spot. I think we need some teams that are just able to break the monotony of like the same 6 or 7 teams that just swap places in the Prem and the Championship every little while. And I know, Rich coming from a team that just got relegated that wants to bounce back, but I'm selfish. I get it. Outside of that, though, I'd love it. Dream scenario for me is it's us, it's Ipswich, it's Preston. They're who I want to go up next season. I'm honestly just disappointed that we didn't get the chance to play against Luton in the Prem. I'd love to see the Foxes at Kenilworth. Ipswich breaking forward here on the right flank. Vestergaard sticks in a tackle on Burns, but can't make the clearance, and Burns regains possession. Breaks into the area. Low cross. Out wide. Shot taken. Excellent block. Desperation from Fatawu there. Davis gets the ball in acres of space in the penalty area, and Fatawu has to fly in to make the block. Wolfenden right now. Little bit of pressure, but we're sitting back at the moment. We're letting Ipswich have that ball near the halfway line. Poor pass, though, and we will regain possession. Poor possession on our end, though. Lot of tussle in this offensive third for Ipswich. Dewsbury Hall forced to turn around. He'll play the ball back to Cody. We can't get caught sitting on our hands here. Ndidi plays the ball out wide. Breaks into the area. Cross comes in. Oh, Fatawu. The exact same body position with which he made that block at one end of the pitch. He tries to basically make a scissor kick to score on the volley there. He didn't have to be that crafty with it, and he just mistimes it. It goes off the ground and up and over the net. Tried to be too crafty with it. I think he would have had enough time to just stop that ball and control it. It's something that definitely it hindered us early on, but yeah, again, and credit where it's due to Ipswich for that. Ipswich fans in the chat, when was Portman Road built? Because I do also love a classic ground. Like I've seen 2 games at Loftus Road at this point. Once as a traveling supporter, in quotes. I was staying in London, but supporting Leicester City, who are the away team. And once I just went as a neutral to watch them play against Sheffield United. And I love that ground. I love Loftus Road. People just battering the corrugated metal around the outside of the stadium. It's a good old-fashioned atmosphere, that place. Not as good as the King Power, though. Ipswich coming forward here. Jackson lays it out wide. Chaplin cuts inside, has way too many players in front of him, and his shot gets blocked. Only as far as Morrissey, though. Once again, trying to run inside. Finds Chaplin. Chaplin can't find Morrissey again, though, and we regain possession. And we find our way through those lines, and now Leicester City can counter. Fast through ball there. It's Wolfenden up against Mavididi. Mavididi will win it. Low cross, and it will get blocked by Wolfenden, though, and cleared away for a throw-in for Leicester City. Portman Road built by the Romans. I'm not necessarily sure your stadium's that old. Ball ends up all the way back at the halfway line here. Vestergaard will collect. 1884. Yeah, that's a good old-fashioned ground, that is. Was it in FIFA 16 or 17 where there was the story mode and it starts in a game in like the 60s? And I want to say that was at Portman Road. Good chance to break into the penalty area. Mavididi just can't quite get onto the end of that pass. It'll get collected by Taylor, and now Ipswich look to counter. Up against Ndidi, a required foul there, and Ndidi will be the first player to enter the book. Yeah, I want to say that one of the FIFA games starts with you playing a game in the 60s. You're playing for whichever team you pick. And then I want to say you're either at Portman Road or you're at Coventry's old stadium, one of the two. Ipswich try to play the ball long. We will intercept. It's Ricardo now to Dewsbury Hall. He plays it up into the middle. A little back and forth. Dewsbury Hall, no foul there. I thought he got tripped up. Harness now. Another question for the Ipswich fans in the chat. When did you sign Harness? Because I recall I used to do FIFA 20 career mode with Portsmouth. And I know Harness was on Portsmouth then. I think it was purely for the reason that I wanted to see Fratton Park back in the Premier League. Lofted ball for Ipswich there. We do intercept. Ball played all the way back to Hermansen there. Jackson pressuring. We go out wide. I feel like I haven't seen very much of Wout Faes so far in this second half. Although there he is on the ball. Back to Cody. Cody will play the ball forward, but Dewsbury Hall keeps his back to goal. We're waiting for that pressure. We want to play through the lines. And there it comes, Ndidi now. He plays the ball out wide, finds Mavididi. He'll go back towards Faes, back to Ndidi. We go back. It's a little game of cat and mouse going at the moment because we want Ipswich to start throwing players forward again so that we can counter. That's when we're at our best. Long ball finds Dewsbury Hall. He'll get tripped up. And a free kick against Davis. And a first substitution for Leicester City will see the end of the day for Wilfred Ndidi. And coming on is Cesar Casady. With his trademark intense look on the sideline, on he comes. Dewsbury Hall to take the free kick, so he's going to likely in-swing across into the box here. Long to the back post, headed onwards, just over the net from Vestergaard. Jackson goes down on a challenge from Cody, and that'll be a free kick to Ipswich. Burgess makes a tackle against Dewsbury Hall, but we do maintain possession. We're going all the way back to Cody here. He'll go all the way back to Hermansen. Again, we're playing very patiently here, although we've been punished for this in the past. Vestergaard now. Tries to go up the middle, immediately intercepted. Hermansen will collect. little bit of tussling in the midfield. Ipswich comes out with it. Looks like that will end with a free kick, and it might be a booking for Ricardo. Yeah, late challenge there on Taylor. We'll see Ricardo enter the book. At the top of the match, I predicted a scrappy 1-0 win to Leicester City, but I feel like there's more goals in this game. I could see this even ending 3-2. Lofted cross comes in, but that'll be collected out of the air by Hermansson. Out wide to Cody. He plays a lobbed ball looking for Fatawu. Hlodkey gets there first, but only narrowly. And he's forced to pass the ball out wide. But it's just enough. Burgess plays the ball forward to Davis, trying to find their way through the Leicester City lines, and they do. Cassidy does a nice job shielding the ball, taking the foul, and winning a free kick for Leicester City on the halfway line. I feel comfy with a 2-0. Ipswich have been looking like scoring, but I haven't felt genuinely threatened yet this half. Yeah, just showing the replay on that. Morrissey up against Cassidy. He does a good job getting in front of him, and Morrissey just hacks the legs out. Not much else you could really do from that position. Hlodkey forced to kind of dive back towards the ball in order to prevent a corner kick there. Ooh, not great from Ricardo there. But Harness will end up entering the book for that challenge. Poor control from Ricardo, but then Harness just absolutely hacks out Wink's legs from under him, and he will enter the book there. First Ipswich player to do so. Kelechi Iheanacho warming up for Leicester City at the moment. Most likely going to be a like-for-like swap with Patson Daka. Some fresh legs up front for us there. Oh, a poor pass from Dewsbury Hall and a lofted shot, thinking that he could get that up and over Hermansson from nearly the halfway line. Hermansson does a good job to get his hands to it, and Vogt Fast will play that ball off of a chasing Chaplin, and we get the goal kick. Terrible ball from Dewsbury Hall there, but definitely overplayed his hand. I'm not sure who that was who took the shot there. I think Taylor thought that he could get it up and over Hermansson, who was outside the area at the time, but he tracks back nicely. And it does look like this will be the end of Patson Daka's day. Kelechi Iheanacho is going to be coming on to replace him. Ball possession has been very, very level at the moment. Ipswich might have us a little bit edged out, but when it comes to directional possession with threat, evenly matched at the moment. Ipswich have a point to prove, and they're proving it. They're showing why they're second place in this division. Lofted cross, finds Leaf Davis, headed away. Only as far as Chaplin. Chaplin goes down, no foul given. And then Ricardo gets taken down by Harness, and that'll be a free kick. I'll be frank, a little bit of a silly challenge by Harness there. Goes in with the arms. That soon after entering the book for the first time. I'll scroll back up. I'll bring this comment back up when Nacho gets that. I'd love to see that. I need a good Iheanacho redemption arc. Winks now in midfield. Up against Harness and Morrissey. Wins a free kick. Winks will stay on the ground. Cody plays the ball to Winks. Out wide to Foss. Lofted ball. Collected by Hladky. Vardy's not in the lineup at all. Davis breaks inside, takes a shot, little deflection, collected by Hermansen. And I'm not sure if with that deflection that'll count or not. If it does, that should be Ipswich's first shot on target. Harness on the left flank. Gets round Ricardo. Forced to turn around, though. That's a good question. The players have shown spirit. I don't know that they've created enough threat in front of goal yet for me to say so. On that note, a cross comes in, intercepted by Ricardo and cleared. Mavididi nods on. Iheanacho now gets it away from his man. Lofted ball, nearly finds Dewsbury Hall. Hladky forced to make a desperate clearance outside of his penalty area there and sweep that ball away. Ball goes all the way back. I think we do deserve the lead at the moment. Lots of folks tuning in, more Ipswich Town fans coming in as well. It's been a scrappy game. I do think that we've created just that little bit more threat than Ipswich so far. And I think the shot stats do a really good job of explaining that, because right now shots are 13-5 in favor of Ipswich, but 2 shots on target to 1 in favor of us. So we've been more clinical. Jeff, that's a little strong. Like I haven't minded this match. Chaplin takes a shot and well blocked by Hermansen there. Quick passing ball. Chaplin ends up taking the shot left booted. Not much spin on it, but a lot of power. Hermansen does a good job to get both hands behind that. Ball pinging around the area. Chaplin with the shot up and over the net. We're giving Ipswich too much respect and too much real estate around the area right now. So Will, Broadhead is on the bench for Ipswich from what I'm seeing. I'm going to assume he's a striker for you. Because then in that case, I'm a little curious as to why Caden Jackson was brought on for Hurst instead. Now Leicester City coming forward, ball played out wide. Fatawu at the moment on the right. Turns around and plays the ball back. Dewsbury Hall will go all the way back. Ball lofted long by Ipswich, but we intercept, and now it's Fatawu cutting all the way through midfield, and then he gives the ball away cheaply there. Now Ipswich look to counter. Ball played out wide to Burns, but he does not keep the ball in, and Foss will take a throw in. You can see there the way that Chaplin is forced to stretch. Ipswich are really trying hard to win that ball in midfield. And that's one thing where I have to tip my hat to Ipswich Town, is that these players have fight in them. Excellent control from Cassidy, and then a terrible pass from Cassidy. Pulls that ball down in front of his man, gets himself into space, and then chips the ball way too far in front of Dewsbury Hall, and Hlutsky will collect. Oh, yes, sir. I haven't given you a timestamp update. My apologies. We are at 73, 10, 11, 12 for those of you at home if you do want to get synced up with us. So just over 15 minutes to go in this match. Ipswich really pouring the pressure on now. I would love it if we could get just one good counterattacking goal, and that would put this game to bed. Harness at the moment. Cheeky ground played ball there, but well intercepted by Cody, who will put it out for a throw-in. Taylor's ball. He plays it wide. That pass will then be intercepted from Davis and out for a throw-in. Maresca on the sideline, yelling some feedback at his players at the moment. We do a good job of intercepting the throw-in, and now we have a chance to break if we can get the right momentum here. Iheanacho plays it out wide. Mavididi gets it. Through ball, looking for Dewsbury Hall! Surely! I cannot believe that that was not a penalty. I am stunned. Stunned that that was not a penalty. Not sure whether that was Wolfenden or Burgess there who makes the tackle on Dewsbury Hall. I'll need to see a replay to see if he got the ball, because I'll tell you what, I called the tackle by Wolfenden earlier in the game a surefire penalty, and he did get the ball in that. My eyes might deceive me, but I thought that that was a full-blown shoulder barge while he was clear on goal. No VAR in this league, though, so they take the risk and it pays off. We've just passed the 75-minute mark, 75, 17, 18, 19, as the ball goes all the way back to Hermansen. I don't think the keeper had the ball yet at that point. Gotcha, Wilson Broadhead's a midfielder. Davis with the ball right now. Pass is intercepted, and now Leicester City can again look to counter. Iheanacho's on a run, but we don't make the pass to him. Ball in midfield with Cassidy. We go out wide to Mavididi. He's up against Clark. He's up against Morrissey. Gets past one. Finds Cassidy. He can't control it, and Ipswich will clear their lines. Pereira will play the ball back to Vestergaard, but now the momentum's back with us for the next little bit. We have to capitalize on it, though. Cody passing back and forth with Vestergaard. Cody finds Dewsbury Hall. Pereira in the midfield, back to Dewsbury Hall. Way out wide, all the way to Foss, who's pretty far forward at the moment. He plays to Winks. Back and forth with Cassidy. We go back. Cody. And again, we go back. Winks plays it forward now. Cassidy now. Then Mavididi goes back. I mean, players do go down too easily. I would like to see a replay on it, because honestly, if it was just a shoulder barge and he goes down too easy, then fair play. But I want to see it. Dewsbury Hall finds Fatawu. He's forced to go back. And this is just a stream at this point where we go forward on one flank. We're forced to turn around. We go back to Vestergaard. We go again. No turnovers in possession. Just back and forth momentum, though. Mavididi goes back. We're just burning time here. Fatawu will go all the way back to Hermansen with this one. And again, we go back to Hermansen. Good pass up through the middle. Cassidy tries to find a pass to Iheanacho, but doesn't get through. Will, for which team? Because I feel like credit to the Ipswich defenders. In a world of Premier League refereeing, oh, okay, that barge, that's a 50-50. That could have been a penalty. Like, in a world of Premier League quality refereeing, We could have had 3 penalties this game. Ipswich are playing at home. This match is Portman Road. Martin, you're getting a little bit of what you want. Hutchinson, Broadhead, and Luongo are on for Ipswich, and it looks like Yunish Agkun, if I recognize my faces correctly, for Leicester City is going to be coming on for us. Looks like it's going to be Dewsbury Hall off for Akgun. So this is why I think that it's kind of 50-50, is because the initial contact is shoulder to shoulder, but he then trips the trailing leg. That would be what I think would be the foulable offense. But if he was already off balance due to the shoulder to shoulder, it's, again, in a world of Premier League refereeing, whatever team that decision goes against is going to be screaming that it's wrong. So that's a 50-50 for me. Ipswich will play the ball all the way back, and then Hladky will clear the ball long. Oh, a terrible pass from Hermansson. Jackson's shot is blocked by Fass. Hoofed away by Fatawu and out for a throw into Ipswich. That's been a big talking point for the commentators as well. We are going to get decimated by those tournaments. Patson Daka, Kelechi Iheanacho, Fatawu, Harry Suter, and Wilfred Ndidi all going to be away on international duty come January. Offside. Offside on Broadhead there. 81 minutes 42, so less than 10 to go in this match plus injury time. I don't think there will be nearly as much as there was in the first half, given the goal and the injury to Hurst. Ipswich coming up on the right flank here. Hutchison makes a cross, and that'll get blocked, and it's out for corner kick. Corner kick comes in, headed away at the near post. Only as far as Hutchinson, and then he controls that poorly, and that'll be a goal kick. Broadhead breaks into the penalty area, tussling with the Leicester City players. We get possession, and we run clear. Ipswich regain possession, though. Good tackle there. Vestergaard dispossesses Broadhead there. Now Mavididi looks to come forward, shrugs off one, gets into some space. Gets tackled. Luongo. Through ball. Foss intercepts. Throw in Ipswich. That's true, Fee. I picked up the whole batch while I went to the UK. Ball tussled with, another throw into to Ipswich. Just going to update the lineups to show the players who have been brought on. Long throw in taken, headed away by Foss. Luongo on the ball right now. Morrissey plays a cross in, nodded onwards, collected by Hermansen. Ipswich want a free kick there. They're not going to get one. Ball gets cleared. Foss up against Morrissey here. Plays it out wide. Poor long ball, though. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. If you have enjoyed the watch along at all, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It's not just me, but we got plenty of Leicester City content all through the week from folks with far less of an accent than I have. Much of the channel is actually based locally. And we got all kinds of analysis and team talk all through the week. Leicester Hampton Wanderers shirt is class. I kind of like the overlap neck design a little bit. And I'm a fan of the gold color. I like any time that we kind of get, like, we really lean into the Fox look. Ipswich Town breaking into the penalty area here. Good tackle on Broadhead, though, and we come away with the ball. Today on the ball, he plays it out wide. No chance for Mavididi to shrug his man, though, and Ipswich will put it out for a throw-in. And then the sash shirt is just a classic. Another substitution coming for Ipswich Town. Caden Jackson, who was brought on in the first half, is now taken off in favor of Freddie Ladapo. I mean, I get where you're coming from. It can be frustrating, although I've attributed this before, particularly last season. There's not a lot of service that you see to the center forwards on this team. Our tactics don't really set up for that because it's normally we play for our center forward to be a poacher type character, to sit in the penalty area and take that opportunity at the last second, but we don't get to that last pass, or if we do, that last pass ends up getting missed. Broadhead right now coming up on the left. He's forced to turn around and play the ball back. Davis comes forward now. Ladapo on the ball. He gets dispossessed. And he will then foul Winks, and that will be a free kick. Undisputed goat of sponsors, though. I love me some King Power on the front of the shirt. I was even hoping that if FBS had somehow stayed on the front of the shirt, that we might have ended up with King Power as the secondary sponsor or something like that. But like the King Power and BSI Gone sponsor back on the shirt, put it straight into my veins. I love it. Only to be outdone if we could get a Walker's Crisps back on the shirt. Long ball that was looking for Iheanacho there, but he'll get stopped by Burgess. Ball goes all the way back to Lucky. Trying to come up through the middle here. Ladapo, through ball. Luongo finds Broadhead. Oh, and he slips on the grass. And that'll be a goal kick for Leicester City. Dangerous opening there for Ipswich Town. Very dangerous. And yeah, Broadhead just overplays his hand there. Leicester City got lucky there. Now it's Mavididi on the ball. Lays it up. Far too heavy for Iheanacho there, and he can't keep it in play. Big let off there. I mean, that might be fair. I probably have some Iheanacho tinted glasses. Ball headed away. Throw into Ipswich Town here. 10 seconds to go in the opening 90. No word yet on how many additional minutes there will be. I'm going to assume probably something between 2 and 3. 5 additional minutes. This game isn't done yet. Davis and Luongo having a bit of back and forth. Morrissey. Morrissey to Ladapo. Harry Clark out wide. Gets around Foss. Breaks into the penalty area, plays it low. Ladapo's shot is deflected, and that's a corner kick. It's tense. It's tense. Good block from Casadei there. They take the corner short. Mavididi gets into pressure, and we get a goal kick there, and we are going to take our time taking that. Callum, have faith. Ipswich are piling on the pressure, but any chance we get to have possession, hold it, run to the corner, force Ipswich to make things happen. Don't give them the opportunity to hold possession, let alone create chances. I'd love it if he brought on a little Chowdhury. I love me some Hamza Chowdhury. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Davis to take. He goes back. We're sitting back here. We do not want to give them a chance to counter the way that they did earlier. Foss plays it to Mavididi. A little bit miscontrolled, but Casadei regains possession. Back and forth with Winks. Good play to get around some of the Ipswich Town players in the midfield. Mavididi goes back. Ipswich have been very hungry this half, and they will feel hard done by to leave with no points here. Full credit to them. Lucky is a little strong. Another throw into Ipswich Town there. Hutchinson to take. Breaking through. Shot deflected. And Ipswich have leveled it. Takes a deflection. Nothing you can do about that. Disappointing that is. Sam Morrissey on the ball. Gets himself into space, takes the shot. Who does that go off of? Looks like it goes off the face of Vestergaard, possibly. It goes off Ricardo, off Vestergaard into the net. What can you do about that? Probably going to count as an own goal for Vestergaard there. Sometimes it takes luck on our end in order to keep the lead. Sometimes it takes luck in order to pull back. That will go down as an own goal for Yannick Vestergaard. That's a little harsh on him. Surely there will be a little bit of additional time on top of that, though. Don't you go blaming me for this. And I mean, I'm okay with the result in the big picture as well. I'd have loved to have gone as clear as possible on top of the league, but you know what? Result's a result. And game's not over yet. Mavididi with a throw in an attacking position. Probably going to set up for this to be the last attack of the game. Throw in taken. Ipswich will regain possession and hoof it clear. I don't know why Cody is going back there. Long ball towards Fatawu in the corner. Throw in right by the corner off of Burgess. Surely this is going to be the last possession of the game. It wasn't great from us for the last 20 minutes. Absolutely. Ipswich really pressured us well, and honestly, they deserve the point that they're going to get from this. And that's full time. Ipswich pulls a point back in injury time, but we retain our we retain our points difference on the top of the league. We move further outside of the playoff spots. We retain our spot on top of the tree. Not the best result, but you know what? I will take that against second in the league. All right, I'm gonna pop the link in chat if any of you would like to join me for some quick post-match comments. Carmen, you've just clicked in. If you want to give me a thumbs up, I'll add you in on screen. Carmen, thanks for joining me. I hope you had a lovely holiday. Disappointing result to end it, but at the end of the day, I still feel okay with a point.
No, she's live on there.
Sorry, Carmen, you're a little quiet on your microphone at the moment.
Can't do that.
Oh. I've just been having some camera issues there. But yeah, you know what? Again, Leicester and Ipswich to be promoted, I'll take that. Yep, still going top into the new year. Disappointing end to the match, but you know what? Well, let's learn from it. Let's start getting on the training pitch and trying to stop allowing those last-minute goals. And let's go up with Ipswich. If you enjoyed the watch-along, please drop a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we've got all sorts of shows coming on all throughout the week from folks with far less of an accent than I've got. Thank you all for joining me. Not quite the result we would have wanted, but I'll take a point. From all of us here at Leicester Fan TV, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Barlow Blinds, Poker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Nubian Cow, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit LeicesterFanTV.com for all the latest news, views and videos.